News. It's official. DLFM 106.9.
Yamamo akwaba. Afitu mirikande share yen. Ewo Facebook no so na afinsi YouTube na kase bono. Yemfa emu enchiremu emfa ensomum. Ghana mampeni John Dramani Mahama ede aso abofom. Se ogwakobwa ma eye kwansi ma eduoson miensa echiripo ensia. Mechreye 73.6 kilometer eye Cape Coast Takrade Road no. Okwakobwa pa mekwano matimi edualize ne kama. Na mana akwanebade hu sensem no etimi akonkane ewataye mantem ana afinso fifi mantem Ghana mampani chiremu a oma yetim no edu baabi ankwanhia ne doso efise yakwan no eye hia kituwa bi ayese fiase sabi owoba signet ohun intedu baabi sa na ka na ekwa na ye bonsa ho ne ye hyiamu sa ba ne se ha adwen pa ne senti we de eye dualization ne beboa na kwan no emienu ewo benkum so a ne emienu so ewo nimfa so na boa ema ahyen ne nyade ombehie mpo ne kwanhia mpo etimi esi Ghana mampani echirema ekwan we no omohwe anim se eno eka eye aban hyehye pod egu akwam eno no eye big push agenda no we de Ghana mampani hyehye we no eka ho bi pam na Ghana mampani echirem se ekwan no mba beyie no eyade a bridges na nasam so no emu mako beye du ebekwaso akwantempon no so eno wachi nso eye nsam so nipa befa so across kwan anase food bridges no so beye mako tunnum ene yenyina beboa na yatumi atwa se beye a ka ebodi pa no eto betimi atwa ewo finfin mantem enafenso eye ataya mantem Cape Coast ene takwade kwantempon no eso Ghana mampani echiremu a edu baabi a na nkwanhia ne dos no ma Ghana nipa hwere ye nkwanhia mu no ha adwenyi pam Ghana mampani decide to dwa emra na ode aso ebofom ewo ye asoko eye esaman enafenso esakọ esaman enafenso shama mansinimu a na opa dwumade wontoma ewo eye my Ghana ya twa ya mantem ne mu no wochirem say in fact ehu benya paso beboa na akwan akwanebade hu sensem no etimi akonkan ntina bo no homade ade asakọbọ sem so bakọboa ema kwan yi nyama timi akonkan na Ghana mampani hwe anim say enche bia akwantempon de wo my Ghana titru efa kasa ne potem ekopem eye apa ne potem atoma akoma nkasim suado kopem kepus no abangu so oyi ani nyina beboa ma my Ghana akwantempon sensem no ne ma konkan e de momade sem say eto Thank all of
you here for your attention. Today marks another proud moment in our collective journey to build a modern, connected, and inclusive Ghana. We're gathered here today to turn the sword for the dualization of the Cape Coast to Takrady Road. This is one of the most vital transport corridors in our country. But let me say that it's not only Cape Coast to Takrady. The other contractors working on Accra to Winneba Junction to Mankasim, and then Mankasim to Cape Coast. So by the time we are finishing this road, they also will be finishing. So the road from Accra to Takrady will be dual carriage all the way. This project is more than a road. It is a declaration of our shared resolve to rebuild Ghana's infrastructure as a foundation for jobs, for competitiveness, and for national unity and cohesion. It embodies the spirit of the Big Push infrastructure program and the 24-hour economy policy. And both are designed to modernize our transport systems, expand industrial access, and make Ghana work again efficiently around the clock. Takrady Road forms part of the national route, which is popularly referred to as N1, and the Trans-West African Highway linking Accra to Takrady, Ghana's major industrial and port city. It carries more than 90% of freight and passenger movement to the western region, and it connects our mining, oil, agriculture, and tourism economies.
Any awoti ye Ghana mampani John Dramani Mahama.
Yantua kasia bono sunia da sueja mampeni akachia na mampeni John Dramani Mahama atre ni sopa ewo kwan ya mofa so ye adwuma atre afia Kwanta Regional Hospital nim mari ehemu e de amatememfo mo eya atoye mantem se eya ade a enche project no mo ye no mbewie no beboa ama ye hospital no aye first class aye teaching hospital ewo ho na bro koye nhwehwemu ade fasa na dwumadie no ekoso ewo benada ahene mi bosom ne de toso aduonu ba ko won fimpi mienu ne aduonu num ni mu ana mampani John Dramani Mahama esisu dua biam se yade a project yi eka kwan a mo pese o mo fa so na ya wisa entimi enkoso wo manga na mo emfa how bia emfa embrewom sanso no di tudwa na oche mu se wo hwe aye apeminyim aye project no mo ye na aye ade a efia nkwanta aye project no mo ye na kwanim ye papa into abomodea ene aye Ministry of Finance for di aye nkomosa na be ya contractors for no niam mu hia na basika sema no o metimi ahwa wom se na be o metimi aye adwuma ne ntentem ede ama wom na tro mo tre aye ya sabia nim beboa se na be ya omo so no e ba ya hwe timi akoso ye ede ama wom na okasafa hawo aye no wo project no koso e won potem ho no chemu se e ya de ono do obebo mode ahwe sanse na aban epese onye sakraye e wo man yimu tse koba se project bi wo horum na so mo nto aso yo mo akasaba no e ya de a omo beto aso.
Efiam Kwanta has been the main hospital in the whole of the Western region. It has been the main referral hospital, and so it was necessary to expand it and then also build a second regional hospital at Apiminim. So we went and looked at the progress of work at Apiminim. That one is far behind this one. This is a bit more advanced, I hear about 45%. And so we have been with the contractors, and so they've explained to us the work they are doing. This work is impressive, very impressive. And I just want to assure you that we're working with the Ministry of Finance and the contractors to make sure that the claims that we have there are validated, and then we pay them so that they can come back to site and come and continue the work they are doing. And so the expansion of this hospital is to make it into a first-class teaching hospital. And so I can assure you that very soon the contractor will come back to site. As I said during the campaign period last year, I said that one of the practices that has drawn Ghana back is that when a new government comes, it does not continue the work the previous government was doing. But governance is like a relay race. One government passes the baton to the next. So this is a baton that the previous government passed on to us. So I can assure you that the money that has gone into this building is the money of the Ghanaian taxpayer.
DLFM
so we're not going to let it go to waste.
106.9.
We're going to continue and finish this project. So
Eni ya uti ye eye Ghana mampani John Dramani Mahama.
Yan to akasiebo no so ene yemfa yani mfa nkyire mum. Ewo bono east matemnim. Na make se mprempren asoye no ene hwe o man Ghana. Amanwe ensem so mekire Interior Ministry. Wanom edi curfew anasa wo hye edi ato kura edi enda wonom so nom eye gulumpe kuroduanum. Enna finsu kronkura hodo a etwa ho ahye nyina da eno no ewo kentampo not mensenimu ewo bono east matemnim. Na empenifo kirem se mentem ho ase ne ahobambo nsem bi enna ye kura kuroduanum nti enam ahinsie ho mansotwenti ene enipa hu nyonko nipa ohun ze sabi anyemwa no de sekan edi twa na ku na to atwene ne senti aban pese oboa na dwobrɛw ebembotem hono munti ene ode wo hyei ede ato wonom esom na ohye wei enkrata ba bonten endrada ena mpanifo ekirem se enmanim yada ade hyɛ wo botem hono nyina da wonom beda ewo mra abo enumere no nan ekopem na wonom asɔre anopa no nsia na kyena wonom hwɛ ade a wonom apre ho every same aban enam executive instrument so ede abomodea eje afutuo nso ede afri National Security for anase National Security Council ho so momodea muntu na mo we nemwa na hoba monsem entimi nko nka ne mfama ade hye a wonom ewo gulumpe kuroduane mu no no ewo kintampo north mesini mu ewo bono east mantamnim na enkrata ba bonten no eya osoafo no ena hwe oman Ghana amanwe ensem so mekire Interior Minister Muntaka Mohammed Mubarak ekirem a enanim yata wewetimi aboa amadwobrɛw atimi aba sebeya mansotwe hodo nam so ekoso ewo eye gulumpe kuroduane mu ewo kentampo not mensin mu no entimi entretre na wudie entimi nkoso mani papi na nam so emfre wonom enkwam ode adesre e de ato adehye a wonom ewo gulumpe kuroduanum ena afenso na nanam atrenkunwa emebunu na womka biewum empotem wonyina se osre wode mata adwebro mra monyina mba momfa no mabaye kwanso na momwe na manso twa hodo ekoso enam ahinsem sensem ti no adwebro entimi embra asoye ne so ekirem se wonom guso ne nhyepa hodo egu akuma boa ma ho bambo nsem no bi atumi adi mra se be ya eye saa kafiu anase ohyanda to amoso no etimi agye adwuma na okirem a ohyam da to dwa no muntie ne yepa na monhye ne so de edi kan obi biara ntumi nkita akode anase tuo ewompotem ho ne moda womotewa danto awasema ene wachi nso etuo boba ntumi nkita bi ewompotem honom anase ade bia da betimi ade awu anase betumi agye nipa kwade afiri ne nsem no ntumi nkita bi ewo eye gulumpe kurodua ne mu no working tampo not mensi ne mu ewo bono east mantem nim na wane mu kyerem se enye no nko a obiara nhwe hu ne se mra no obetimi adi super pepepe memra etimi agedwuma ebiew obiara ntimi nkotena motorbike so saa nipa ne ye mienu ana miensa koda bi obetimi atena motorbike so empotem hono ma agye nipa ba akopɛ monam mienu ana miensa mpirifo bɛkyemo na mra ene mu edi na wane mu kyerem se omuhu so obetumi akɔhye atade a ye hoba mokuo mu ntade atade a ye akode ntade mo bia nhye bi mpotem honom ekopem mra saa ohyam dato omoso no eto betimi etwa na osoafo no na hwe manga na manwe sensem so onimnyamfo mutaka Muhammad Mubalak se yanka nkyere Ghana de hye se aban ene ko emra ho nti no bebo no homade aboa ma homba monsem mu ayire se be beboa na de hye a mo gulumpe kuroduanim ena afenso ade hye mo kentampo not mensin mu ena afei omaga na nyina aboa ma homba monsem no etimi akonkan se beboa na menteme ho ase asode no eto etimi etwa nti woni nkrata hodo a efiri osoafo no na hwe omanga na amanwe sensem so mekire minister for eye interior onimnyamfo mutaka Muhammad Mubalak aso ye ba dia kase bawiai yade mo nkyeremo esomo
Yentoa kasiebo ne so na mrahye beya edu ebomode ahese omode ye Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill 2025 eye de omutwa nitiafe no anti LGBT eye plus bill no eye de ende omosan so ade ba akoto mrahye bedwam ebio na omo so eye bill na se eye John Intinfo John no eye mrahye bedwani ede ma sense out sanso na Samuel na te George no eye mrahye bedwani ede ma ningo pram Emmanuel Kwasi eye bejo no eye mrahye bedwani de ma Whole West Helen Adjoa Intoso eye mrahye bedwani de ma Krachi West Nuruddin Mohammed Mumuni eye mrahye bedwani ede ma Narigu eye Gambaga sanso ana Vincent Eko Asafua eye mrahye bedwani ede ma Otafo Alhassan Tampuli Sulemana eye mrahye bedwani ede ma Kushigu sanso na Reitana Odolesoa eye mrahye bedwani ede ma eye Dadi Kotopon sanso na Dr. Tia Abdul Kabiru Mahama eye mrahye bedwani ede ma Wale ana Anthony Mia eye mrahye bedwani ede ma Odotobri na yade omobomode ahwese be oye yade ombede bekosa ne be omode akwansidie de beto so na eye dwumadi ahodo a ekoso efa LGBT eye Q+ ho o maga na mu na ombetwam na omukohu se wo yade a wo so uye bia omabomode ade jail terms ade atoso omuhu se wo ne eye se bi be ma ne be ma da na so oba ne be ma da ende ye bechi watum anampo se monten so ho na abekire se wo do nyonko eno so no ombebomode atimi atwewa so pa ye omobomode ahwese eyade ombetimi aboa na sa LGBTQ eye plus no ombetimi etwem na yade abel yi eye ogefo bosome ewo mfimpimienu ne aduonu nan ni mu eyade omopasi bel ya na emom eye abanya na ewo so dada no ye omampani dada na nado danko akufado na abanso no enya ade omuye bibia ede efa ahunto omosanso ede babio na omuchema ye omampani John Dramani Mahama yade a oboa ye papa sane be yombe aban betimi aboa na be oyombe timi apase na omwetwem na emomo chema ma omo fenkoma ye private member bia nhye omo fenko abemu sane be yomo so hyehyeye no ebetimi akosoye na omo bomode atimi pase be oya eyade omo de mra ede beto eye LGBTQ+ ne so wa wunim anampo se ye was sponsor bebre omo sponsor sankrofo no nti so omo hu se wo sponsor wo manase wankasa no be ma ne be ma da na so ba ne be ma da ombetimi atwewaso
We will pass this. We would submit it to the president, present it to him for his assent, and he can also, even in the course of the process, whether before it is passed or after it is passed, if he so thinks that he even needs to introduce some more robust legislation to serve the larger purpose of preserving the values of Ghana, preserving the values of society, and augmenting on the binary nature of gender. For any person is born a boy or a girl, and that's when you are to marry. Marriage is between a man and a woman. Those basic principles and any such propagation and advocacies and those that seek to even make lesbianism, LGBT and all its allies and dimensions more attractive, totally misleading young people and leading them astray. Any legislation that will cure that is further welcomed, but that will not come to replace the importance and necessity of this bill. If the president was so, committed to introducing government-sponsored bill, this is the 11th month. There have been many, leading to about 100 bills that have been brought to this house, and we have passed. Some were even brought in midnight. We stayed here midnight and passed them under certificate of urgency. So if this bill was that important to him, and indeed is not mere rhetorics and is something he's committed to, he would have introduced this government-sponsored bill. He has said it time and time again. Has he brought it? So let him bring it. But he bringing it, we will all support. When President Mahama brings a government-sponsored bill to the stature of the human sexual rights and family values bill, we will all support. But that will not take away
DLFM 106.9.
So let all support. Let's pass it. As and when President Mahama wants to introduce his government-sponsored bill, we will support that legislation as well to come and even support and reinforce what we have begun.
Eniya uti ye John in team fojo no anayam na shebedwani edema asen south.
Yanto akase bon so nenko so angire mu ewo Ghana yemra shebedwam na make say no domukuma banu dini ono ewo ma shebedwam ono kura yenso na kopie mu ewo ade hia wonum afutu a oye wonom ma shebedwani ne din edonim nyamfo Alexander afenyo kwame na osahene marken edensem atodwa echirim sem NDC amanyukwa banya bay no. In fact, wonom ne Ghana man edi kotomamento mehwe oto agro bia yemanum ne kura ni esisia so pa na odwen ho a onte ase ena ebisa so nimnyamfo Alexander ede na ban aye ena wochiremu a emra Ghana fo beka ya emfimpim yenadu nunan abato mu no omampeni John Dramani Mahama edesombo edebo Ghana banda da no mechira Ghana mampeni da na nadanka kufuado se omampeni da tumetena ase ayan hwahan sama galamsey oso ayekwa no agye ne nsem emeno man afa na nyina da yenso nyina sei yakwa yenso asietu yatena nyina sei wo man yi mu a ehu behia sei anka banda da betimetu ase onde oba pe emretia mu galamsey no ebetwam kabia enya de oman behunu ho nsem biom nanso okiremu a Ghana mampeni John Dramani Mahama ehuru tena Ghana banwa asuei ekire din dadana afimpo na galamsey no enipa bi etu na biribra na mna oche mre na ode nsam du dwa ewo my Ghana mna mahye bedwa endrada wonom kwa wo third meeting ewo second section ena afanyo marken echirim say in fact ensam bi hapam na oman yimu ene NDC abanyi ba ye omu chiremu a gold board of penny for chirim say ne my Ghana sika akọ no gold no ahete papa ene billions of cedis a omu de akọ ama no ne akoton agi sika de agu ebotom oman yimu no ekọ anka ne yepa na ochiremu a sa sika akọ na de bia da eyo penipon ye chief executive officer edima good board me wafa se sami gemfi ebo ne ho safonhene no sa sika akọ ne nyina afri galamsey fo na kache enti aban obo ho safonhene na gold na aban na Ghana sika akọ na buso enti aboye ho mode enti ye moye nsem ne ntonnwum fanfrem a galamsey de ba na betu ase samoya ne sana mo ofua so ma nipa etu galamsey ene enipa yade a esese okwa yare sabio ntumi mabio ne nyina ne sentosi nyina da adane nubone a ekum yen inuaba nyina se kum adan Ghana mampeni osra wada enmane yade bibi fafa galamsey no o kiremu na mofra yade a omkwa yare sabia pe na empeni for the dialysis eto omo service mofra no nyina ye kokram yade ena finso eye kidney nyina no manya sa kidney failure enti aba ne sa ya pom den eda sen munti Ghana mampeni enmane yada galamsey bibi fafa visa sa de galamsey tete Ghana fo no wanye bibi amfa ho a Ghana man yewu ode nsem sei etuja my Ghana match bedwam
about toxin levels in mining communities. In some areas, mercury contamination in the soil is 134 times above safe levels, and arsenic concentrations are over 4,000% higher than what the WHO deems safe. These poisonous metals are seeping into the water, into food crops, into the very bodies of our people. Doctors are reporting an uptick in children from mining areas developing kidney disorders and even finding mercury pellets in their x-rays. Children, Mr. Speaker, now require dialysis because of the poisonous fruits of galamsey. Our nation's future is being sickened and stunted. Mr. Speaker, despite being Ghana's top gold producer, the surge in unregulated small-scale mining has created an underground economy that drains national resources and benefits criminal networks. In just 8 months this year, small-scale gold exports surged to over $6.3 billion, according to the CEO of Ghana Gold Board. However, much of this trade is believed to be illicit. The state loses billions in revenue while communities suffer environmental devastation. The minority stands with all Ghanaians, calling for decisive action. We welcome the advocacy from civil society and religious leaders, and we support real solutions from tougher laws to sustainable alternatives. Mr. Speaker, we must also admit that the situation has worsened since this government came into office. At the 2025 May Day celebrations, organized labor, speaking through its Secretary General, confronted this matter with deep disappointment that the galamsey menace has worsened under the watch of this government, barely 5 months into its administration.
Na enumachi enonumnyamfo Alexander afenyo marken echiremu ade ba akonso a etete wo manyi pa na ha Ghana dwen eye atentrene ochiremu a o ma yatim sisi no atentrene ba kokora eni hobio atentrene eni o manyim adentira si yete Ghana na sabi obi sisi obi a sawaban efri aban mu pe eni atata na ehunihu na nyasem kuma ochiremu a na nsenya da omokokoto aba ewo chisade hia wonom ewa akwatia ewo mra omahye bedwane efri mu a ekwaje tadema wonom ema sofo azoka oni di ndi semanyo komitintiman etime treten ne sesade yete no obeje ne nkwade afri ne nsem ade nti bone be na wonom aye ochiremu a ndi semanyo amanyo koi bai eyeto mbeje tumi etena so oman Ghana mu ene atatai ene ehunahuna sam aje wa anyefe na wo ya bandada mu nipa na wonom achew atentene ba kumpo nya adwuma ochirem se sabe yama mra enya adwuma so obi bu mra so oman Ghana mu a yenhwenanim enhwena manyoku nipa ne dom anase oni aban bi afada bi yama ba ne nya adwuma pepe ne mo na tentene nya adwuma na sade tata ne hunahuna akoso no Ghana mampani omo sere wada adabraka ye bibi ne nipa enso no egujam wo manyim.
Even more disturbing, young Ghanaians expressing frustration on social media have been targeted, questioned, and in some cases detained. The question we ask as a minority is this the reset we were promised or an era of regression into intolerance? Mr. Speaker, the case of David Afo-Kodjo, a young man known on social media as Kwame Nkrumah number 2, highlights the disturbing double standards in how justice is applied. After a live stream on social media, he was swiftly arrested, prosecuted, and sentenced to 7 months in prison. Much as the law must be applied, we must ask, is the state equally swift when government-affiliated individuals commit similar or worse infractions? Not long before this incident, during the Akwatia by-election, the NDC National Vice Chairman, Sofo Azoka, openly declared that there will be by-election in my constituency. That was a threat, plain and simple. Unlike in the case of Kwame Nkrumah II, the police have not taken action. Mr. Speaker, why is there no agency on this matter? Why the speed in one case and silence in another? Justice must be seen to be done. Justice cannot be harsh on critics and lenient on those who are closer to power. The broader context deepens our concern. Mr. Speaker, on the 8th of September, the Bono Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Mr. Kwame Bafo Abronye, popularly known as Abronye DC, was arrested and detained on charges that appear politically motivated.
Nekwakramo no ena onimyamfo Alexander afenyo markin kesemo eno densemo di say emra Ghana mampeni John Dramani Mahama ene NDC amanyuku ne bontoa apretumi ebedi Ghana subio no omode nsem to dwa say wono de 24-hour economy edeba Ghana fo benya adwuma ye ene adwuma ebebusu kuruma nyasem kuma kra je akuafo pe evizekuani de wuntumi fa torchlight enkonwuram enkoti kuku anadwoda ebi nsi kra adawu ye baifo ana o chire ma ban ba yi watwe na ni sesebe openi boni a wayi mframadwam e chire din omuhu boto anu fa kura nshim we chire se o man Ghana na wa share sedi yehwambo yi osrada Ghana mampani mankwankra nwuma no ehu hia na obo homodin bia say 24-hour economy a wo share ho bo de to Ghana for the news and ni senti no ya to abade ma wono bomodi a share se ye na Ghana mebu no nya adwuma na o ma Ghana dache titu ne mebu no asetenam enye de se adia America yetu anu okrim.
Time has come for government to walk the talk of ensuring that the private sector becomes the real engine of growth. Enough of the rhetorics. The 24-hour economy must not be an empty talk. It must provide a hope for many youths who expect jobs. Mr. Speaker, on the governance front, governance is about upholding freedom, justice, and the rule of law. The frequent arrests of opposition figures, journalists, and ordinary citizens on flimsy and politically motivated charges exemplify a pattern of harassment intended to silence dissent. They paint a troubling picture of a shrinking civic space in our democracy. Even more disturbing, young Ghanaians expressing frustration on social media have been targeted, questioned, and in some cases detained.
Eni a wuti ye ono ene banutini Edmadom Kuma ewo mashebedwam. Ono kurase na kopie mu ewa futu a oye wono mrashebedwane ne den edonim nyamfo Alexander afenyo kwamena osahene marking.
Yantoa Kasiebone Sona Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture Emilia Ated Abetuja HM say a cabinet Adjoa Agyei Ghana a first marine protected area ewo Greater Cape 3 points I know ewa Toye Mantemu. Nodin Semi Edituja ewa bra press conference ekoso ewo nkran ewo Bnada ahini mbosom ne de toso aduonu baako won fimpim yenu ne aduonu num ana Mrs Emilia Ata HM say ade omo bebo Ghana pokọ ho mbaisa ne be ye bebo na hye ni na atimi akoso no chiema nya ade a omo ba betu apunim na mo ombe kire mra ombetu mani mra ombetimi akopo akwakoyi nam na ye nam nketinkete ne so na woso mutimi bomodin a etum se ne be ye no so no ebetimi anyi na wokona so wokoyi enam ni na ne mba ebeside na wokod ye de ede eto so bio wa betimi akonya enam eno nam so nti no mo pese omuntum se ne be ya se ne wokona wokoyi nam na se bia bosome ba ko mutum a obekọ no na mo aketinkete ne so etimi anyi ne wet okọ a wetimi ayi enam ni bi.
9 of the 1992 Constitution of Ghana, the Fisheries and Aquaculture Act 1146 recently promulgated, as well as the Marine Fisheries Plan for 2022 to 2026. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, our next steps are as follows. Following Cabinet approval, the Ministry and Commission will engage in the following activities towards the realization of the establishment of the MPA and working very closely with the TAC. We will map out and gazette the designation of the Greater Cape 3 Points MPA. We will conduct interministerial engagement to build support for implementation. We will make a public declaration of the MPA. We will continue collaboration with participating communities, NGOs, and faith-based organizations to integrate local knowledge into the development and implementation of the management plan for the MPA. And we will continue to undertake public education and sensitization of the MPA. We will also develop enforcement and monitoring plans to prevent illegal activities, and we will identify and promote alternative livelihoods to support fishers who might be affected. The approval by Cabinet of Ghana's first marine protected area marks a major step toward building a sustainable blue economy, which aims to protect marine life, fishing communities in diverse ways. Collaboration among various stakeholders and the government is necessary for the effective implementation of this initiative. I am therefore continuing to call on all stakeholders for a greater collaboration as we have already been doing.
DLFM 106.9.
The successful implementation.
Eniya uti ye Mrs. Emilia Ata ono anaye Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture.
We are nyina we so na yankenka madwenkyere ni bi emfa ensomo na me wafa se na napa Donald Frank edibinam and I said the Aloma news is loud and clear here in Tema Community 2. Me da se me wafa se Donald Trump wouldn't there Frank I can for Trump can say be abekwakoyo mampani wo US na Presra or said the about say good afternoon or here live edi free osu me da se pa me wo fa se Presra or say catch ade hia mu osu se mo wo fa me chiachi mpa ya mmagya no manam ni bi na emu ode pam comfort mati the about say wo fa Kwadwo Nhyira good afternoon the news is tasty pa more fire me se me da se comfort bo achen ya me Nhyira na good day my lovely handsome Uncle Sam and my Adjoa Agyei Sikapa, I'm proud of you all. DLFM is, or say DLFM, I salute. Sweet Betty from Lebanon, Zone 4. Me wafa so dynamic power. The bro from the BOS system. Unimadia power sika. Wa ben pa. Kajem say o mesra no wafa. O mesra no oban so amfa nsapan. Penifo so de nsapan kwa ya say de den. E de asotro ne ja kwan. Na Kofi Parliament de aba na say, may God bless homeland Ghana. DLFM news. Emu yet desa no manam. Loud. Inside Aguna Bobby Kuma apa medase kwachira adehia mo wa Aguna Bobby Kuma se mechiachia mu nyina tituna adehia mo wa adwuma ko ne ampe adwuma ko mechia mpam na dola ya jewa je dia ba no say good afternoon Samuels and tuntum broni sika pa ohwe life edi free Christian village achemota DLFM mukobe mukobe ni chire sen sika mukobe chire sen ba ko pe edem ko msa woni sada nya de won kan wasapa na me wafa say yaw asante ns and I say God bless DLFM ohwe live edi free tamale tamale fo ya chiachira mpandi me wafa say yaw asante ns ka chira tamale fo say me chiawom comfort mati de bi nam no say good afternoon wafa Sammy B and Adjoa Agyei Sikapa DL news onapo moko be ene moko be na be trending enche momeya jengle ma ye ne mfa nka ho nyame nhyira na Richard ahwe e de aba no say good afternoon Alhaji Twasinte aka Hunsuo Mponi Nhyiraba Kwadwo Sammy B takwade Kwadwo kurum twabe wo de hye kwankron enafe nso eye Adjoa Agyei Sikapa aka Dumso Levi DLFM news official like bed meat loud and clear inside great station hono ma na ye DLFM manes DJ Ghanaian fidi ni so oso oda ya sena dwumaden aye bode som o man kwankron Ghana na hona bo Frank amankwa de ba na oso hwe live edi free kita se no so enne eye na lovely son Morris Ofosu Toa Amankwa a special birthday so in fact me wafa say within a day Morris Ofosu Toa Amankwa a very special birthday from your daddy also do pa me nhyira na ma ene onfa ode afa ba kwa kan kwa na Onyankopon nhyira pa no mpagya wo no tetre wishim sanso na baba mahama obo ase kirem say 2028 de ba omia na eko we fakọ MPP headquarters ko kenkan ma omo na omo ntiase ho ne yamanyosem medase George Atade aba na wose ne den ade wo fata na in fact good afternoon wo hwe live edi free adabraka Franco Trading Enterprise medase we George Atade think say na we driver ni edema Franco Trading Enterprise for I'm sure say we driver ni nyame nhyira opi ni Franco fo ne ka kire me go fa say Mr Franco say me chia no wate chia no pam yenka ye homra na kasebo no yefa nkopi amano na amano nsem no emu apipa ye dan ye ho abasisi a na yato aso akọ amano ne ensemu
The Yale News.
Yamamo akwaba afi yentwa esuofrawo ne yemfa ya nimfa nkyiremu ewa mafoforo so ensemum ye de ani akyiremu ewo Uganda na mekesei enkra abeto dia kase bopono so ekyiremu sem eye boss mienu mekire 2 buses etimi akwankwanya nkwanhia ewo Uganda wonom highway kwantemponwa a champi na dia twenkyire wo so ewo ne ukwadai ahamachen a mekese de enipa bebro eduosia miensa 63 ena wo nyina da ahwere wo dem nkwa afoforo pii na nso aprepra emu edin ye pa na nka ne kyerem se de na no mankwanhye we besi ahomache we ni nyina ne se eje wo mahinkro eye Kampala mu ena nkwanhye we si ye ewo North City edema gulu ewo Uganda kroduanum na hwema wo beto dwa no kyerem se eye buses mienu we no na obiada epese otumrika tente etimi esen ne nyonko na nam so ekofa asan kwanhye we di ba ya mekese de akwaye nsempi a wo mu kyerem a eye ka ba kumpo no mpo de na ya de a eye sport utility vehicle ɛno so akɔbɔ mu aka ne de atete apansam kora kɔ ensem pii nam na meke sɛ de enka ne kyerɛ mu a ade ampanifo ahya so menhwemu de afa ho a enipa mako bɛyɛ 63 aduosia miɛnsa ɔmo nyina da nkwa afiri wɔn mu nsɛm foforo pii nso ɔmo tete ka ne mu de dodoɔ na ɛpra meke sɛ de wɔnom ɛgye ayɛhwɛ we na ɔhwasɛm a efiri Uganda Kampala wɔnom ahenkuro ba awia yi yɛde mo nkyerɛ mu ɛsomo deɛ kasɛbɔ ɛso
yɛnto akasɛbɔ ne so ne yɛda so agyina obi man so nsɛm a na akwantufoɔ etimi adwane afampomam ɛwɔ abra ɛyɛ train crash ekum nipa bɛyɛ ɛyɛ dunum ɛwɔ Eastern Ethiopia no mu kyerema ɛyɛ ade a train crash no ɛkɔ so Adjoa enumre ɛwɔ abra obɔmɔden a ɛde nipa ɛde ɛtu kwan a enya akwanhyia no ɛwɔ Chanel kuro ni mu na ɔmo kyerema nipa prepra deɛ ɛbɛyɛ aduonum so ekosi aduonum krom nhyɛda ehu nipa dodo a etimi ɛpra na bra ɛyɛ Gibel Oma ɔno ɛyɛ district ɛyɛ commissioner ɛne BBC Somali ɛkasa na oche mu sɛ ɛyɛ ade akwanhyia no esi yɛsɛ ɛyɛ train no sɛnea ne tebea ne tie no ɛnyɛ kora ana mobɔ ɔmɔden aso hyehyɛ nneɛma bebree ɛde gu train ni ma no nam so enti ana etimi nya akwanhyia no oche ma no onipa a ɔmote ɛyɛ train nim san so na nneɛma ɛka ho no na ama emu ayɛ duye papa no nam so nti no ana akwanhyia no etimi si yɛ na dodoɔ na ɔmotimi dwane yɛ no na kyerɛ mo yɛ mabu no ani nti na mo nya ahoɔden no etimi dwane yɛ edi free ɛyɛ empoma nim na mo bɔ mɔden ahɛsɛ nhwehwɛmu ebetimi akɔso
we na yɛ gyina we so na dear agye me nsɛm kɛse bɔ a yɛn sa so awie no yɛde ne nyina buruko mu sep na ɛyi me wa fa ase dora yɛ gye de aba sɛ mukobɛ no ɛkyerɛ sɛ obiaa ni hɔ afi so wate ase nobody obiaa kra ntumi fa no ɛho toto DLFM ho so wate ase yɛ edwuma de yɛ die na yɛ kro gyen you get it oh nti ase kra mpokura na obɛte ase yɛ bɛhwɛ mo ayɛ den wate ase sɛ dora yɛ gye yɛda na sisi a me nkran teacher ni no ɔbɔ adwuma pa sɛ ɔna producer ma DJs gibi in fact ɛsɛ me hwɛ na me pɛ ɛyi ska akraman de hyɛ ta so ɔbɔ adwuma den pa ɔne comfort mighty ni Sweet Elizabeth sɛ ma kan so ɔma hwɛ me na da me amɛkye ne kwan ho na de amɛyɛ no na sika wonim sɛ wokɔta kwabɔ mpe so a madam fo ba ko ne den ɛde Isaac Donko dodoa na friend Kanu no na that time na school games sɛ yɛkɔ inter schools na competition no onim ball no bɔ na me bɔ ne chidom yɛyɛ ho bi pɛn ɔta kwabɔ mpe so enti no wonim sɛ me ne mie ne bɔ kosua tafre upo bi a no na danfo pa bɔ kosua tafre ɛwɔ takwabɔ mpe so a na Isaac Donko that time no bɔ mpe so DC JHS me ne mie no yɛyɛ ho bi pa ekosum mfidie ekoyi nkusie ɛne ade a yɛbɔ brɛ o yɛsi mu nya no yɛkwa wa amane nti ne yɛnu ntem na yankopɔ yɛ adom a ɛyi afia kwa kɔwura mu no bosom edi kan da to so du baako ɛno no bɛyɛ 11th January 2026 ɔba bɛwade Isaac Donko bɛwade osi mu nya no
kasa musi mu nya ne kasa osi mu nya na
ɔba bɛwale nti awade we ni de me do bɛkɔ sɛ obɛkɔ obɛyɛ made of ana on ho ofe nti obetuma kofitela no wache be piase nti sɛ de tie bia mentumi nya hɔ enwa nkwanya ne konko obɛkɔ bi DJ Hitman obɛkɔ ba ne ho ka mom na agye me sɛ da pɛ ka bi a fom no musum go no mu odu pa we fed hotel ifia ha ya kan say giant no hono hotel kana minti DJ Hitman hotel etu bi ne bɛkɔ minti Isaac Donko do abɔ ma ne sɛ Kanu ewia me chia ya me ya adoma wade me ba wate enti hwɛ manim sɛ nchi bia bɛtem ka otakwabɔ mpies kasi abɔde ye de asi emusemufoɔ ne ye me belantwene sɛ mo ɛde ɛma yɛn sanso na ba ma 10 gram wini ahofa dwa no ɛyɛ champion tailor Mr Frank Jerry ɛde ekopie mu ɛwɔ Facebook ɛna afisi YouTube akasebɔ no winya bi ɛhwɛ ye sanso na DJ Zigby Mr Samuel Akwa echinchim efrede froma ɛde sem ye awie na kenkanfo mienu ya hwene tian senta mu besi nkunya besom wɔ no edi amegye so yɛwɔ ba ko pa abɔfo nyina di na yawo edi amegye so ɛyɛ Nhyiraba Kwadwo Sammy bi mene
Adjoa Agyei Sikapa
ya kono hwan na eba
na Adjoa Silky
one hwan ne hwan
sexy journalist and kwame afum
beta
na Kwadwo ansa na mebo omomra ne ma mefa birthday we ntwe
one bonitew
Happy birthday way kwama Pastor Paul Ewuku oye Pastor Edema ICGC. Na send your message ne ba yen me pesa menkin kind sa. Or say happy birthday Chief Executive Royal. May God bless you and all that concerns you. More grace to do his work, more wisdom, more power, abundance of his power in all you do. We pray for long life, riches, good health, and a year prosperity. God bless your new age, Daddy. Inti happy birthday, Kesia, and come Pastor Paul Ewuku.
Na no can English not train so super so cool to no pepe.
Aye.
Na na mete no eka ho.
What's it?
What or tire shim.
Sir.
Me be sa onya sa.
Anana.
What's up person what can say they what kind of bro. Enna no what true.
Ye dia ka ho.
Nti we say we could
Ye dia ka ho.
Na Adjoa Sik obi a on fa ne mra ni agwene mo radio no wana aye den.
One out ye.
Na Adjoa Sik na pam fort na se a.
Enya wo dia.
Wo de on second be ye den. Na mra aye den.
Anyway di.
Sede
Ese.
Pepe no. Na Adjoa ye obi a otume ne ho pa. Ne ho ofe tuntum tomro sie te se obi no. In fact, ne ho akono pa se nchenam. Na on fa ne fans eni agro sede otumi ehuro peten wo so no. Ya monam na ebenya asem sanam na ma yenko
atwere mu hima fifi mu hima enkacha hima radio mu ya santoa Michael Jackson
papa no pa to pa ye ma mu nyina moniti a adehye yakra mo
afi be ye de mentin ka keke o minni man kasa efise